My name is Carolyn. I'm with the Wise Move AZ team, which is with Realty ONE Group. You're watching the 8th episode of our Homebuyer series, and the topic today is what makes your offer less appealing. So hopefully you listened to our 7th episode. Lindsay talked about how to make your offer more appealing. I'm going to do the opposite and tell you the mistakes that you can make in this offer process and hopefully help you to make a very appealing, acceptable offer. So starting with the offer itself and how you negotiate, there are many different negotiating strategies. Lots of them are good. It always depends on the circumstances and the people involved. All of them can be defended. But there is one particular strategy that is sure to offend your seller and make your offer less appealing. That's called, if you do not offend the seller, you've offered too much. I don't often see that one employed in normal real estate transactions, but stay away from it or stick with it if you want to make a less appealing offer. The second point is with respect to earnest money. Lindsay already talked to you about that. It's the amount of cash you put up front in order to show your commitment to the contract. So the best way to make your offer less appealing is to make that earnest money amount very low. It's unlikely to result in a rejection or an out-and-out rejection of the offer. It's likely to result in a counteroffer, but there's certainly a chance that you will have offended the seller by offering very little upfront money and not showing a strong commitment to the deal. The next point I have is extras. In the closing process, you'll find that certain costs, closing costs, are paid by the seller, some are paid by the buyer, and some are shared between the buyer and the seller. Well, the best way to offend the seller or make your offer less appealing is to make costs that should fall ordinarily to the buyer to pay, make them the seller's responsibility, and you'll definitely accomplish less appealing. The next item I have on my agenda is contingencies. In Arizona, there are 2 contingencies that are automatically built into the residential property purchase process. The first is the inspection period. It allows the buyer 10 days to fully examine the property, and if there's anything in that inspection phase that the buyer is not happy with, the buyer has the option to get out of the contract. The second one is where the buyer is taking out mortgage financing in order to purchase the property. And if the property doesn't appraise, or if for any reason that mortgage is not going to be funded, the buyer has basically a free pass in Arizona to get out of the contract. So anything you can do to eliminate those contingencies will make your offer more appealing. If you try to add an additional contingency, you're definitely going to make your offer less appealing. The next one is with respect to the closing date. A normal closing is between 30 and 45 days. If you ask for an unusually long closing period or an unusually short closing period, you may well be putting the buyer in a difficult situation and as a result, making a less appealing offer. My last point is with respect to flexibility. If you remain inflexible through the offer/counter offer period, then your offer is going to certainly be less appealing. Now, I hope that I have provided you with enough information and enough tricks of the trade that you, together with your realtor, can make an appealing and very acceptable offer. That's it for today. We hope you enjoyed this episode of our buyer series. We put out new videos every Thursday and Sunday. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and like us on Facebook at Wise Move AZ to stay up to date on all things Anthem and real estate. And remember, if you or anyone you know is looking to buy or sell their home, please give us a call. It's always the right time to make a wise move with the Wise Move AZ team.